just flip-flops on, singing to that highway song. Got a little naive smile, the kind that drives you wild. Nothing like playing with fire, brings boy to life. Be with the fuse you light, you're good, you're dynamite.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
14:20 in the morning, 14 minutes and 20 seconds worth of sports talk to get you through your daily commute. Hot takes, recaps, best bets, and a little humor to get your day going in the right direction. Sit back, grab your coffee, and let's get into it. All right, 14:20 in the morning for this 4th day of October 2023. Today's show, as always, brought to you by SeatGeek.com, the SeatGeek app. Use promo code 1420POD at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase there at SeatGeek. Remember, we are part of the Belly Up Media Network. Go to BellyUpSports.com for all of their great podcasts and articles. Everything in the world of sports is right there at BellyUpSports.com. And thank you very much for making us a part of your day each and every day from all of us here at 1420 World Headquarters. And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel because these videos will make a lot more sense if you're watching them. You can listen on podcast form, obviously, but the YouTube channel is where we're kind of aiming towards going to later on and anything else. Anyways, night one of the wild card Major League Baseball playoffs got going last night. Some pretty good games, some pretty lackluster games. Everything went as expected. I think it wasn't nothing mind shattering. There was some great baseball games. The Milwaukee Arizona game was fantastic from start to finish. Some great drama in that one. It was a heck of a baseball game. But let's start with the Rangers and the Rays. Ex-New York Yankee Jordan Montgomery, he was great last night for the Rangers in their 4-0 win over Tampa Bay. Gumby, as they used to call him, I don't know if they still call him that in Texas, but that's what they called him when he played for the Yankees. He 7 shutout innings, scattering 6 hits, struck out 5 in front of a whopping 19,704 people at the Trop in Tampa. It's not, it's not their fault. It's just the way the playoffs are set up. People are at work. It's a ridiculous thing. We'll get that into half a second too, because it's quite ridiculous. Corey Seager, he went 2 for 4 last night. Tyler Glasnow of the Rays, he threw a wild pitch that scored Seager later. I'm not going to say I told you so about the Rays, but I'm going to say I told you so. They just never seem to get it done in the playoffs. They always have that team that's close but no cigar, and they're the biggest close but no cigar team in baseball right now. There's no score into the 5th of this game. The Texas Rangers played some great defense all throughout this game. Some great plays in the outfield. You see Montgomery diving catch off the mound in the 4th, I think it was last night, where it could have saved a run, and on it went. The Rangers were really good. Tampa Bay was not how it all played out. They were just that team. They weren't good through 9 innings, and you know what? They're 9 innings away from having their great season come to an end, just as I kind of predicted. They're that team that just does not get it done. They're right there all year long. Winning in the postseason is tough, and they can't seem to ever get it done. They just have one of those things. I'm not saying they're done yet, because later on today they're facing Nathan Eovaldi and all his Tommy Johns later on, saying he hasn't been great throughout September's and into October's throughout his career. So the Rays aren't done as of yet. But I think that the fat lady, she ain't singing, but she's sure humming a tune right now, and the Rays could have their season come to an end today. Eventually, Evaldi's got to have himself a game, but you never know with Randy Rosarina and Yandy Diaz and the like. You could see Tampa Bay squeezing one out today, maybe getting a win today, and extending that series to 3. It's too bad that game of this magnitude is played in front of such a small crowd, 19,704 people at the Trop. It's just a ridiculous situation they have there in Tampa. Yeah, they didn't need new building, but Major League Baseball finds a way to puke all over themselves on a week-to-week basis. We'll get to that in half a second too. Next up, the game that most people across Canada couldn't watch because it started at 2:30 Mountain Standard Time, which is 1:30 Pacific Standard Time, and Canada's got, like, the Toronto Blue Jays have one of the biggest fan bases in baseball. If you're a baseball fan in Canada, you're more than likely a Jays fan. I'm not saying everybody's a Jays fan, but every baseball fan wants the Jays to win, so it keeps people interested. I've said this time and time again throughout my life. Actually, I've been talking about how it's got to get different. And then you have a game starting like greater like BC, Vancouver has 1 million people, and 1 million people can't be watching the game because they're at work and everything else. So how Major League Baseball thought that having this game start at 2:30 in the afternoon Mountain Standard Time, 4:30 Eastern, which so you have a number of people couldn't start the game. Maybe they left work a little bit early, but it's ridiculous the way that all turned out. But the Jays, they kind of pulled up a stinker yesterday in Minnesota, fresh off their Condrive post-game celebration on Sunday. They made an appearance at Target Field, one of my favorites in all of baseball. The Jays fell behind early 2-0 on a home run by Royce Lewis that scored 2. He got another one in the 6th for insurance, but it was the Jays who couldn't get it done with runners in scoring position throughout that game. Bo Bichette ran through a stop sign in the 4th inning. I don't know if I like that move by Bichette running through that stop sign, especially in the 3-game series. Maybe it's a 7-game series. You want to take a chance, but when you have a guy at third base, I don't know if he would have scored on that. Well, he obviously didn't score on that play, but I didn't like Bichette running through that stop sign in the 5th inning or the 4th inning. It was one of those things. And you had Carlos Correa as one of the best players in baseball, one of the best third basemen. He had to make a great play, obviously, and he ended up doing that. I didn't like Bichette's comments after the game. He seemed a bit sheepish and everything else. I don't know if nobody sent him. He went on his own volition, and maybe that's how that Jays team is. They're a little bit selfish. They're a little bit me, and Bichette showed that by running through that stop sign. Would it have mattered? Probably not, because the Jays couldn't hit with runners in scoring position. They had a 2-on, or they had Vladdy got on in the 8th on a leadoff double. They didn't move him over, and so was life with the Toronto Blue Jays. Jose Barrios versus Sonny Gray today. I don't know how much luck they're going to have. Sonny Gray has had a reinvigorated year this year. When he didn't do so well as a Yankee. Then he went to Cincinnati, and he was fantastic for them. He had a great year with the Minnesota Twins. I think the Jays are done like dinner today. I think their season comes to an end around 5:30 Mountain Standard Time tonight, and that'll be it for the Toronto Blue Jays in this next year land for them. I don't see them going on in any they just can't hit. They haven't hit for 2 weeks. Basically, when they lost the 6 out of their last 8 or whatever it was, or 4 out of the last 6, and they lose again yesterday, their situational hitting has not been very good at all. The Jays are done like dinner by 5:30 tonight. They can mark that one down on the wall. I think it's all done. The Jays have to do a little bit of soul searching, get maybe different type of management. And obviously that play yesterday by Bichette, by running through the stop sign at third base, that shows that the selfishness and the maturity level of that baseball team. He took it upon himself to go, if he scores, he's a hero, but he didn't, so he's a 0, kind of one of those things. And his response after the game, I didn't like that at all. That team is, they're very selfish, they're very me-centric, and that's a lot of today's athletes. I should say, I'm not saying all, don't say that, but I'm not saying all, but I thought Bichette running through that was a kind of a picture of the entire Toronto Blue Jays season, and I think that they're going to be done today. Hell of a ball game last night in Milwaukee. Great ball game with the Brewers taking an early 3-0 lead over the Diamondbacks, only be down 4-3 after 4 innings. Back-to-back home runs by Corbin Carroll and Ketel Marte, back-to-back Jackson belly to belly, and then Gabriel Marino hit one later on to take the lead. Didn't do any I noticed Marlin Man back there. I didn't know Marlin Man was still a thing. I was quite concerned that he was gone away from us. We'd never see him again. But there's Marlin Man sitting out there. The play of the game for me was Evan Longoria. Was 4-3 in the 4th inning, I believe it was. Bases loaded, shot down third base line. Longoria made the play to end the inning, doubling up the game, and that was it for the Brewers. They couldn't get nothing done. It's one of those games you just see the Brewers not having that team. Can the Brewers win today? 100% they could. They're a very good ball club. That atmosphere in Milwaukee was very good last night. They have a great fan base, and Milwaukee can get it done. Milwaukee's got to remember that they're a division win, like they're a division winner. They're a very good ball club, but can they get it done in the big picture? I think this one's going to go 3. It's going to be tough because Arizona's good, but they're not great. And sweeping a very good Milwaukee Brewers team can be done. It's going to be Freddie Peralta's on the mound for the Brewers too, so you got to think that they're going to get that thing done and call it good. Last game of the night last night was in Philadelphia. What an atmosphere that was! That Philly team is good. I've been warning people about them for quite some time since they got the 14-20 slap in the butt few weeks back or a few months back when they were really struggling to get off the season going a little bit. And even Trey Turner called himself, he said his mom thinks he was the worst player in baseball. But ever since that happened, things have turned around for the Phillies. They were fantastic last night. They went up 3-0 after 4 innings. It could have been a lot worse if it wasn't for Jazz Chisholm Jr. to get Nick Castellanos out at home plate. Great throw from him, but it didn't matter. It was already 3-0. That's all Zach Wheeler needed. He was fantastic last night. 6 2/3, 5 hits, striking out 8 Marlins. The Phillies team is really, really good. Marlins were happy to be a part of it. It looked like to me they were happy to be there. They were happy to just be in the show. Maybe if they're getting set for next year, maybe to make some trades and here and that. But that one could be done today as well. The Phillies are just that good, and I predict that they'll be going to the. I think they're going to the World Series. They're that good right now. It's one of those things that will be done today. I forgot like last night when we were watching the game. I forgot how much I dislike Craig Kimbrell, the ex Dodger, but more so ex Red Sox with his man bun and his arm wag and everything else. I can't stand that guy. I've never liked him. It's just one of those things with Kimbrell. I just don't understand it. Let's get to the so yeah, it was 4 great games today. Or last night, before 4 great ones today again. There could be some seasons coming to an end. I think the Jays are done like dinner. I think the Marlins are done like dinner. I think the other 2 could go into Tomorrowland, but that's just kind of how it goes. Let's get into the negative of yesterday. Baseball is such a regional sport, and I don't understand why Major League Baseball finds a way to make sure that people can't watch baseball with their blackouts and this and that and everything else. But nobody is, unless you're a baseball dork like myself, you're not going to be tuning in to a Tampa Bay Rays Texas Rangers baseball game if just for something to do. So why not have all the games on at the same time? The NFL does it. Yes, they don't do it in the playoffs. I understand that. But baseball isn't like the NFL where the betting and everything else. But baseball people want to watch the games. And when baseball doesn't give people a chance to watch games, it's an absolute shame. Yesterday with that game starting here at 2:30 in the afternoon, yes, I have a situation that's different than most. But I was able to watch that game, but there was a lot of people who couldn't. And then all of a sudden it's over. And then the Jays season is over. And you have a lot of people who follow these teams through 162 games throughout the season. They play games at night and they play games on the weekend so people can watch it. And I'm sure it's not just Jays fans who are upset with this. I'm sure baseball fans right across North America and the world are a little upset with this. I don't understand why baseball finds a way to puke all over themselves. Yes, I understand. I understand advertising. I understand marketing. I understand network availability. I totally understand it. But find a way to get that done and find a way to let people watch the game. You keep saying you want the game to grow. You keep saying you want the game to evolve a little bit and reach younger generations. The younger generation was in school yesterday in the Pacific time zone when these games started. They can't watch. It's that simple. And then in the Eastern time zone, people are going to bed when the game starts at 8:00, right? So it's just one of those things. Find a sweet spot. Find a way to have all these games available. Find a way to do it. Find a way so people can watch these games during the day. Don't have day games in the middle of the week. It's that simple. Like you don't do it in the summertime. Why would you do it in the biggest stage? The biggest stage of your season is the Major League Baseball playoffs. So why not let people watch it, grow your game, and let it go? Now you're going to have a bunch of people who spent 162 games pining over the Toronto Blue Jays. They could be done today, and all these people who watched the Jays all season long didn't get to watch their 2 playoff games. Think how ridiculous that is. So that you want your team to go to the playoffs, and then you say, well, you know what, it's over. You don't get to watch. It's absolutely ridiculous the way that Major League Baseball does that. It's an absolute shame that people can't watch their team that they follow all year long. They follow the stats, and it's just over. It's done. Could the Jays have played better yesterday? 100%. Are you going to blame Major League Baseball because the Jays are done today? No. You're only blaming Major League Baseball because they don't let people watch the game. I understand that network availability. I totally get that. But to not let people watch the games that they want to watch, like if you make them watch game 58 when it's the Tampa Bay Rays and the Kansas City Royals in town or whoever it might be, and then they can't watch the playoff game, it's an absolute disgrace on Major League Baseball. And it's a crying shame that happened yesterday. And it's odd to me that these guys in the big office in New York can't figure this out on Madison Avenue or wherever it is. Why they can't figure this out to get people to watch the game and grow your game at the biggest stage of the season, and people couldn't watch it. I don't understand it. And to end today's little diatribe, I guess I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the New York Yankees basically said that Brian Cashman and Aaron Boone were coming back next year. I predicted Boone would be back a few weeks back. I said no matter what, he'll be back next year. Cashman I was unsure of, but it sounds like they're running the exact same thing back because they They also said they're bringing Sean Casey back as a hitting coach. Remember, they brought him in with about 2-3 months left in the season, and nothing really changed for the Yankees. They're on the outside looking in, but Sean Casey's coming back as the hitting coach. They were supposed to have this external review of what was going on in Yankee land to try to make things better, but it looks to me, you know what? They're going to run the exact same thing back. Giancarlo Stanton's going to strike out a lot again next year. They're going to have the exact same players, the exact same farm system, the exact same analytics guys, all of it. It's an absolute disgrace what the Yankees are doing. I don't understand why they would have that same situation, have the same guys coming in and out. It doesn't make any sense to me, but they did it. And so, Steinbrenner's paying the bills, and that's what he wants to do. I don't get it. I will never understand it, but that's one of those things. And there's my Yankee talk for the week. I tried to stay away from it all, but I just can't seem to stay away from the New York Yankees. I'm a glutton for punishment, I guess. Anyways, here's a little word from our friends at SeatGeek.
The foul baller. If there's a ball that's gone foul, he's gone to get it. Under his watchful gaze, all bevs, binoculars, and ballpark brats are safe. He's the only thing that stands between his section and certain destruction. That's why he only trusts SeatGeek with his tickets. The ticketing app trusted by fans. SeatGeek, so fans can fan.
All right. Thanks very much to SeatGeek for sponsoring the 1420 Sports Bar podcast, 1420 in the morning, and every other bloody show we got going on here. But use promo code 1420pod at SeatGeek.com today and save yourself $20 on your first purchase. Go to some baseball games. That's the only way you get to see them, apparently, because if you're working in the middle of the afternoon, you can't watch the damn game. And there's hockey games coming up, too, and everything else that's going on. Speaking of hockey, I'm joining the Belly Up Hockey Super Show tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, I think it is. Rod Peterson from the Rod Peterson Show is going to be a special guest for the Belly Up guys tonight at 6 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Eastern, and what you guys will figure it out. I guess that's 5 o'clock Pacific, and you guys will figure it out in your local time zone. Check your local listings. It's one of those things. Anyways, on this day in 2001, Barry Bonds hit his 70th home run of the season in the Giants' 10-2 win over the Houston Astros in front of 43,734 people at Enron Field. That's now Minute Maid Field, kids, in Houston. Bonds' 70th season was a solo shot in the ninth inning off of Wilfredo Rodriguez. Bonds went 1 for 2 on the night and was walked 3 times in 5 plate appearances. Bonds walked 177 times that season, the third highest total of his career, but it's a home run total of 73 that is still talked about to this day in sports bars and conversations with ballparks and ballpark guys and baseball guys all over. Whether he's the home run king or not, it's still the most home runs in baseball history in one season. So you got to call him the home run king. It's just one of those things. If you like it or not, it's still the number, and that's how math works. He has the most, so he's the home run king. And on this day in 2001, Barry Bonds hit his 70th home run. He finished the season with 73, and it's a remarkable feat. Like, no matter what you say about Bonds, it's a round ball and a round bat. You still got to hit it square. Did he have some help? Yeah, the guy's gonna be a Hall of Famer regardless, and everything else. It's just too bad it has to go this way, the way it did, and just ego gets in the way and everything else. Like, you just think about him and A-Rod and those guys who were guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famers, and how the egos took over. But that's been beat to death on every sports talk radio show, every podcast show, and everything else. So let's move on to the next one. Happy birthday to retired Major League pitcher Jared Weaver, born on this day in 1982 in Northridge, California. Weaver was drafted in the first round, 12th overall, the 2004 draft out of Cal State Long Beach. Weaver pitched for 11 years for the Angels, was a 3-time All-Star while playing for Anaheim. Weaver's career total were 150 wins and 98 losses, a 3.63 ERA, 14 complete games, struck out 1,621 hitters, and made $99 million over his career. Weaver threw a no-hitter versus the Minnesota Twins in 2012, walking only one. Josh Willingham with 2 outs in the 7th inning of that game. Otherwise, he would have had the old perfecto. So happy birthday to Jared Weaver. The perfect no-hitter with only the one walk to win a game. That Jared Weaver, he was a good pitcher. He was a really solid pitcher throughout his Major League Baseball career. He went for like half a season, I think, to San Diego, and they said 5 or 6 starts didn't go so well to end his career there. But happy birthday, anyways, to Jared Weaver. There's our show today, guys. Thank you very much for watching or listening. If you listen later on the podcast form, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like we always say, because these videos are coming up there pretty good. Actually, you should make sure you take a look. But anyways, that's all I got for today. Remember to watch the Belly Up Hockey Super Show tonight, 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, 8 o'clock Eastern. Check your local listings, and on it goes. And remember, it doesn't matter where you are, it's who you're with. Have a good day, folks. We'll talk to you tomorrow. You just listened to the 1420 Sports Bar Podcast. 4 beer with the sports talk and a whole lot more. We are part of the Belly Up Media Network.